Welcome back to another episode on A Dose of Nicki. Thank you to my listeners for joining me every week to hear another topic or phrase. Now, as we celebrate Black History Month, it is always wonderful to learn about the impact of, so many people who paved the way and contributed to America's development. Now, there's a woman by the name of Viola Plummer. How many of you have ever heard of this woman, Viola Plummer? She recently passed away at age 86, I believe, and is one of the founding members of the December 12th movement. It's a Brooklyn based civil rights organization that tackles things like racism, housing, criminal justice, education issues, reparations, heavy stuff. Really, really important things. And she, Mrs. Plummer, also, she advocated for causes, as I mentioned, reparations for descendants of slavery and global fights against racism in countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, Venezuela, and it's unfortunate, she's gone, rest her soul. She will definitely be missed, and, her impact and seed sowing acts will definitely carry on. So, speaking about, people who identify with right and wrong, and then they take action to make a change, have something within them that's really special. It takes courage and it takes a certain kind of individual, determination, patience to make these life changing, to, to take on these, I should say, life changing responsibilities and, to make impact, to impact change. It doesn't, do you think this is easy? And I doubt it. I doubt that very seriously. Do you think that they face adversity? Definitely. It's not easy. And mishaps, occur. Taking on those type of responsibilities, and when a person like Viola Plummer take on these types of challenges, it is guaranteed that they are faced with what? Negativity. So this leads us into the topic of the week, negativity, which we are going to refer to as being a what? Negative Nancy. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. So it's no offense to anyone who's named Nancy, because, just to make it, neutral, my grandmother's name is Nancy, okay? So I'm not going to go there. What does negative mean to you? What does it mean? How it's a simple word. We use it in everyday language, but I love to give definitions. So the definition that I'm going to use for negative is it is being focused on what is bad and lacking. That's the negative definition we're going to focus on in this episode today. It is being focused on what is bad or lacking. Now, I am pretty sure that all of us have come across, at some point in our lives, have encountered a negative Nancy. Think about it. I don't even think you got to dig that hard, because let me tell you, they are out there. This category or name is not associated with one sex. Just because Nancy is known as a female's name, it can pertain to male or female. Naysayers, Let's talk about it for a second. Were you ever excited about an idea and shared it, only to be told something negative? I know you have. It's like your feelings go from being on 100 to 20. It's like the drop you feel when you're on a roller coaster ride, right at the top, and boom, shot right down. And then after the negativity is experienced, you wish you did not share that idea with that person, Now, there's a difference between constructive criticism and being negative. Now, when you receive constructive criticism, it is to help you advance or improve in an area, okay? It's a type of feedback that offers specific and actionable advice for improvement. It's about you. Now, when a person is being negative, it's more about them than it is about you. What the negative Nancy is doing is putting their concerns, insecurities, and fears on you. Their issue is not your issue. And even if what they are saying might be true, it usually is not the time to say anything. It's often the time to just listen and offer support. That's it. All ideas do not succeed immediately. We all know that. It takes time to root, fester, and then grow, okay? So just because you come up with an idea don't mean somebody has to tell you that it's not going to work. You follow me? Because we know it takes time. It takes time. But here comes the negative Nancy's. See, their role is to always say the opposite of the positive. Okay? So, for example, you say that you are going to purchase a home. The negative Nancy will say, that's impossible. If you do not make good money and have a low credit score, that's impossible. Now, pause. Who asked you? I didn't ask you for your advice. I just told you what I was going to do. I made a statement. That's it. But that statement from negative Nancy is loaded. Okay? Did they just assume that you did not earn enough money to be a home buyer? And did they assume your credit score was low? Okay, wait a minute. Hold the phone. How do you know what I make and what my credit score is? So now you feel defeated, and the level of encouragement and strength you had has now dwindled down to a very low standard. You see? Now, making you work harder to achieve your goal because you are now focused on the negative, which you know slows you down, right? Your thought pattern shifts to thinking about your cash flow and credit score not being at the level it should be. It's a total distraction. Is Negative Nancy a loan officer? Or is Negative Nancy a realtor, an expert in the field of home buying? More than likely, they are not. Yet, we allow their opinions to direct our actions. We can absorb ourselves in the next man's insecurities or concerns. Concerns you did not have, or it may not have even been a thought, yet it is now. Why? Why? All because Negative Nancy does not know how to function in the positive. Those types of people are uncomfortable in the light. And I call it the light because it is opposite of the dark and dreary state. You feel me? Think of the negativity as a day with an overcast on the sky that gets really dark in preparation for a storm. Okay? Think about that. Get that visual. That is what Negative Nancy's bring to the table, a storm. Unlike positivity, and we're going to call positivity positive Pete. Now, they bring sunshine to the environment, something that is healing, not destructive. Positive folks are willing to take on a risk and live freely, you know? They take the bad with the good and turn it into something positive. Negative Nancy's now live with fear and anxiety. That's what they do. That's their makeup. That's their DNA. They make others uncomfortable and put you on guard when they walk into the room. That's what Negative Nancy's do. You hear whispers like, here she go, here he goes, you know? Everybody like, oh boy. People start to scatter like roaches when they come in the room. You see what I'm saying? It's incredible the kind of power negative Nancy's have if you allow it. They can change the whole mood of an entire room just by entering the room. Wow, that's power. No one gravitates to a negative Nancy unless you are weak. Negative Nancys tend to force themselves on people, force their thoughts and unwarranted opinions on you. When you can identify the negativity, it is your best weapon of defense, believe me. Now, let's learn to ignore the negativity and keep gravitating towards the positive acts. It's a healthy move for your mental state. Keep negative Nancys out and welcome in positive Pete, as I call it, you know? Until next time, on A Dose of Nicki, be well.